Hi, my name is Jeff Gilman and I'm the director of the UNC Charlotte Botanical Gardens.
Hello, I'm Ashley Stokes and I'm a professor of communication studies at UNC Charlotte.
And we're going to tell you a little bit about a course that we're going to be teaching for CTI. Now this course is going to be all about the amazing plant history of the Carolinas. When I say plant history, I'm going to be talking a lot about horticulture and science that has caused the crops to evolve in the Carolinas.
And my side is the cultural side. So I am a communication studies professor, as I said, and my specialty is rhetoric. So I look at the way that people communicate and the way that messages are sent. And what's really interesting about plants and crops is they have sent different messages throughout different time periods throughout our history, and they have a lot of meaning in the way that North Carolina evolved culturally.
Now we are standing here at the brand new Carolina Garden Trail. What is the Carolina Garden Trail? This is a trail that actually traces the history of crops in the Carolinas. Where we're standing right now is at the beginning of the trail, and we have all kinds of neat crops here, such as Ilex vomitoria. This is actually better known as yaupon, and this is a plant that is the sole source of caffeine in North America. Bet you didn't know there was a source of caffeine in North America, but that thing is actually stronger than coffee. As we move down the trail, we're going to see other crops that will eventually be planted. Everything from things like kale and squash and corn to things like over here. Cotton. Cotton, of course, one of the, not a food crop obviously, but a very important crop in the history of the Carolinas and in the history of the United States for many, many reasons.
And I want to tell you a little bit about some of the topics that we'll be using and some of the books that we'll be studying, some of the books that we'll be using. So there's a new book coming out called Edible North Carolina that talks about all of the crops that we'll introduce you to and how they form cultures and societies. And then we're also going to be looking at shows like High on the Hog, that's on Netflix, that's about African American emphasis in the United States and North Carolina in terms of food. And we're also going to be listening to some podcasts. We're going to be talking about food and race, and food and gender, and food and history. So we've got lots of really interesting topics on board for us.
And just to be clear, we are outside. We do have this outdoor classroom. We'll be getting our hands dirty too, doing a little bit of propagation and looking at what it means to plant and even harvest a crop.
And I will be hopefully teaching you a little bit about when we make a recipe, what are we saying about North Carolina in the history of the state and what we're saying today.
So we hope to see you soon and have a wonderful rest of the year.
See you soon.